What's up?
What is up?
Oh, so we are at 10 Killer State Park. Probably the last hurrah before the state shuts down.
Hurrah!
Yeah, the coronavirus pandemic, a lot of states shutting down. KJ Rich left in one of the comments the other day, that Moab shut down on them. So
That's
they had
crazy.
to leave there and kind of go searching for better spots in the southeast. Unfortunately, spots are getting thinner and thinner. Corps of Engineers is shutting down parks all across the country. Oklahoma State parks are still open for now, but with all these states shutting down, I mean, going into lockdown, it's really only a matter of time. I tell you what, guys, my heart goes out to you guys that are full-timers. A lot of the less expensive options for camping are
Shutting down.
yeah, shutting down, so you're kind of stuck with the expensive private campgrounds to hold up during this, and you know, you got to wonder how much of those.
Everything's uncertain.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate situation where the government really doesn't understand the nomadic lifestyle, so they don't realize what they're doing to these folks.
They have no place to call home other than
Yeah, other than
yeah.
beautiful nature. And that one, I mean, not going to get real political here, but this one just kind of baffles me, because in my mind, at least, camping is like the definition of social distancing.
Right. And now I understand, like Moab, when there's or places where
Yeah.
it's very touristy.
Yeah, and I think, if I understand correctly, one of the reasons that they shut down the Moab area is because this is the time of year where there's a lot of rallies going on and meetups and stuff, like
Not a good idea.
the Jeep Easter rally was coming up. So, you know, there's a lot of that stuff, and they've got to shut these places down to discourage
Interaction.
all these big gatherings. I mean, you already saw down in the Florida Panhandle where spring breakers were all full of not giving a darn about it. So unfortunately, because of that attitude, the governments have to kind of step in and pull the plug on some of this stuff.
They gotta parent us, because
Yeah.
some people can't parent themselves.
Unfortunately, but you know, we'll talk a little bit about how this whole thing is probably going to have an impact on our lives, as little as that impact is compared to other people. I can't imagine some of the things I'm hearing. So
Really, we're supposed to be entertainment, and I hate even talking about that, but it's life right now, and it does impact all of us, including us campers. So.
yeah, no, that's exactly it. It's anyway, we'll be back. Hi, dog. So, you know, when we take off to head out to the lake Thursday night or Friday right before we leave, we'll run up to the grocery store and get the supplies for the weekend. And you know, that's just one of the things that this coronavirus has changed our habit for the weekend, because we want to minimize contact with other people. So we made do with whatever we had in the house. So our typical breakfast or dinner and lunch has kind of changed to just whatever we had.
And we usually stop at the gas station on the way out too and get candy bar and a drink or something. We didn't do that.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to grab some gas on the way back home, but we won't be going into the inside to do that. I mean, so yeah, just little changes. You know, when KJ, I'll put the name down there. Why, I remembered it earlier. I know I remembered it earlier. But anyway, when he brought up that Moab had shut down, I started digging a little bit, and Campendium has a very good article that they've been keeping updated. broken down by state what campgrounds are shut down. Looking at it this morning, and it was updated actually this morning. There's a lot of states where their state parks are still open, but you know, some of the facilities are closed. Like here at Ten Killer, the visitor center shut down. This bathroom building that we're parked in front of, it's closed. So, and I'm sure a lot of the activities are shut down too.
Probably all of them.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's the way a lot of states are doing it. But there are some states where their campgrounds are shut down. Their state park campgrounds are, they're closed. The Corps of Engineers all across the U.S. are either closed or in the process of closing. There are some national parks that are closed now. Rocky Mountain National Park, actually,
I'm very sorry. I'm trying to get it where, okay.
Here, let me hold it. My arm has better blood flow than hers.
Blood flow.
She's making fun of me. But Rocky Mountain National Park shut down completely. And that was because the local health department or whatever was begging them to do so. The campgrounds at Grand Canyon, I believe, are, I mean, just check out that compendium article if you're planning on traveling anywhere. You know, it's there's a lot of places shutting down, whether I agree with it or not. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, I mean, that article actually helps out a whole lot. Yeah, get that hat straight, girl. You're on camera. Now the coronavirus, so we've been.
What?
Yeah, the what? Never heard of that. Then you were really socially isolated or distanced.
Did y'all hear about those people that were rafting for 25 days and they didn't even know that was going on?
Oh, that was wow.
I wish that had been us.
Yeah, the guide's like, okay.
Got something to tell you.
But I mean, how is this going to impact things for us? And honestly, how's it going to impact things for you? Because there's a lot to this, not just the social distancing portion of it, but the economic impact of all this. You know, for us, for the near term, we have a vacation coming up in May, and I'm not making reservations. I'm kind of holding off because
it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to work around it. Either it's going to be a staycation or a state park vacation. Who knows?
State parks might not even be open at that point.
Yeah, I mean, everything is just so questionable right now. So I'm not going to make any reservations. I may sit on that week of vacation for a couple extra months. Who knows? You know, that's something really near term, and honestly, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, considering what a lot of people are going through right now, that's nothing.
Right.
You know, the other near term ish type thing is our new RV. If the state of Oklahoma does go into lockdown, which, you know, you got to kind of expect it. You really do.
You really should. I think it'd be over faster if they do that.
You know, if it does go into lockdown and I'm not able to go to work, I mean, I have, unlike 10 or 15 years ago, we do have the means to wait it out. You know, to go without work for quite a while without being stressed financially near term.
But it'll definitely change something.
It will change my retirement date, without a doubt. If it comes to a lockdown, it's going to change my retirement date. As much as I would fight it and not want it to, it's going to happen. But you know, like I said earlier, if that's the worst that happens, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so much.
We know some of you are going through a lot worse, and people out there aren't. You know, I mean,
gosh, what gets me, I've got friends that have, their parents have Alzheimer's, and the parents don't understand why their kids aren't visiting them. They just don't understand, and they're not able to see them. And then people are dying. I mean, people are dying, and people are dying without their families around, and there's a lot going on. So the things, even putting off a new camper, which is another possibility for us. I mean, the things that we're going to have to do, okay, we're going to have to do it. I mean, it's in this grand scheme of things, it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, what was that thing I saw the other day? You know, you just got to kind of focus on what you can control. A lot of this stuff is out of our control. We just have to react to it and try to make sure that we're being smart in reacting to it.
We're just worried about everybody else.
Yeah. You know, moving on from that sad subject, let's move into another one. It was back. You know, I tell guys all the time, these camping trips, when you've got young ones, when you've got kids, they grow up and those memories are stuck with them. I hear my kids all the time talking about some of the trips we took when they were younger. And we went somewhere every year, every summer we went somewhere. We were blessed. Huge. Trying to remember.
We weren't blessed financially, but we were blessed figuring out a way.
We didn't know what to do with our money, so we spent it on vacation.
Well, the house fell apart.
back in the early 2000s. I apologize. This Whassup is going to go a little bit long, but wait, you're
stuck at home.
Yeah, you're stuck at home. So what does it matter? It was back in the early 2000s. I wish I could.
Captive audience.
It is. I wish I don't have my file on me. I keep track of all our trips and stuff, just kind of a diary of our trips. But it was back in the early 2000s, we made our trip down to Disney World. And one of those days on that Disney trip, we went over to Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay. No research involved in it. I mean, the research involved was we're doing this many days at Disney, this many at Universal, and this many at SeaWorld, and this many at Busch Gardens.
And at that time, we got SeaWorld Busch Gardens tickets for free.
Because I worked for Anheuser-Busch. Yeah. And at the time, they owned those parks, so we got in for nothing.
So we definitely went.
Yeah. So we went over to Busch Gardens, and it was crowded. The parking attendants didn't know what they were doing, and I mean, it started off a rough day. It really did. And we get up there and we're going in and we're seeing the signs that Kenny Rogers is going to be playing at 3 o'clock that afternoon, whatever time it was. And it's just like, oh, well, cool.
That's cool.
Terry and I we like music. And honestly, there's a lot of concerts that we would go to just for the music. I mean, not that we cared to go see whoever. It's just it would be fun, and
we like Kenny Rogers.
Both of us probably at the time knew the words to almost every Kenny Rogers song. Would we have paid
tickets?
Probably not.
I mean, not if there was there were other things we probably would have bought tickets for over that.
But we got this opportunity to see Kenny Rogers, and what was
for free. It was part of the
Well, he was 81 when he passed, just a couple of days ago from when we're filming this. So he was in his late 60s, early 70s at the time. We didn't expect much. I know the kids didn't expect anything. I mean, they're like, can we get back to the roller coasters? But we went and saw Kenny Rogers. He put on a good show. He was an entertainer.
Great show. It was so fun.
But it's just...
We're standing up the whole time, and so if you enjoyed the show, it was really good.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun, and he was a solid entertainer.
He was funny.
And it's just one of those things that happened to us while we're playing around on vacation, going on those summer trips. It was one of those memories.
And when he passed away, we were pretty lucky we got to see him.
Yeah.
That was my Well, that was my second thought. My first thought was, oh no, Kenny Rogers died. Yeah, something we wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah. That's just traveling, camping, living the RV lifestyle, even though it's just on weekends. We stumble on these things, and we've got these things stuck in our head until we get too old to remember them. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, be smart, be safe.
Please.
We'll catch y'all down the trail.